Time to go live. Y'all. It's time to go live. It's time to go live. Y'all. It's time to go. It's time to go. I'm gonna go live. What's up? What's up, y'all? How y'all doing today? Happy Wednesday. As always, it is SW Live Wednesday, and it's 6:30. It's 6:30 over here in eastern side of the world, and then we got Central Time 5:30. So that's the only times that I really kind of be concerned with because that's where my people's at. So what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the show. I am excited to be here. I'm always excited to be here, of course. Because for one, it's SW Live and it's Wednesday. Two, we always got something good to talk about and discuss, and it's always some good conversation and feedback. And three, it's SW Live. You know what I'm saying? That's what else. What else is there to say? What else can I say on today? So, we're gonna have a quick little show for today, though, because I'm also the host of a venue here, and I'm going to put the name of that venue in the comments because we have events every pretty much every night after Wednesday. I think we're gonna start adding some Tuesday night events, but I want you guys to check it out. That we have tonight is going to be an Afrobeat tonight. Some people having like a lot of Caribbean and reggae and all of that going on. And we just host events. It's other people that are involved in running it and performing and doing all that good stuff. But definitely slide through. It'll be starting at 8 o'clock. I think the band will be going on, or the vibes will actually begin around 8:40, 8:30. But it'll be, vibes and chills and all that stuff going on before then. So slide through. You know what I'm saying? But that is tonight at from 8 to 11 at So Look. So y'all can slide through there. Y'all ain't got nothing going on and you want to come out and have some good vibes. I be forgetting how to add photos on here, but I gotta do that next time and just drop the pictures. There we go. Slides on here while the show going on. Y'all can see it. But anywho, we are going to do the quote of the day because today we will be talking about it's gonna be a quick conversation, but it's gonna be a good conversation. And it's just I'm gonna be getting like down to the point with it, straight to the facts. And because I want us to really know what certain things look like between us and anybody else, but also the differences anyway, but also the fact that we do sit up and make our situations and our relationships based on other people things, what we've seen. We'll let other people's situations determine how we move in our next chapters and stuff like that. So, or past situations too. So, I think that this conversation is a very implicative one in regard to that, to make sure that you are definitely living in you're walking in your favor, your season, in your worth, your lane. You don't have nothing else to be worrying about, to be looking over here trying to see what they think and looking over here trying to see what they think. You're doing too much. That's not for you. If it was for you, you would be there instead of here. So that's why we're having this conversation today, because what love looks like to me may not look like to Dominique, or it may not look like to Tam, or it may not look like to Michael. You know what I'm saying? So it varies. So there are things, but there are also things should look for in those times that you're out exploring these opportunities. Okay. So quote of the day: to be brave is to sorry y'all, to be brave is to love someone unconditionally without expecting anything in return. You, if like, what do you think that loving someone and being in a relationship with someone should be an even trade? Do you feel that how you feel and how the other person feels should be in just like same level? Do you think that's possible? You know what I'm saying? Do you feel like a person should have the same type of love for you that you have for them? And if you do feel like that, should you already be seeing that, or should you be like, oh, I'm waiting. I haven't gathered that yet. I haven't had the experience of that yet. But I'm gonna keep waiting. I'm gonna keep seeing if it's gonna happen. Should you be patient about it? Should you grow in love? Should you, what do you feel about those things? Because I think it varies amongst the people that's in the situation. But I also feel like people want someone that loves them just as much as they love that person. I think that's what most people want. But realistically, sometimes you may love someone more or know how to show it more. I won't say you love them more. You probably way more action need about your love than they are. But you know that they love you based on the things that they've come forth to show you what the acts of their love mean, what it is, and all those different things. But a lot of people feel like it should be very reciprocal. That's to me that's not something that's always realistic. But I feel like if you are not in a relationship where you're receiving just as much as you give, then you're definitely going to be either like feeling like at some point that you're settling for the situation, or that you'll even take the opportunity to move on at some point. And so I say, don't, it's not even worth like, it's not always worth just jumping in and wasting time with certain situations. If you already see it, and you know this isn't somewhere that you feel like you should be, because you're not feeling just as reciprocated as, you're not feeling the same reciprocation as you're giving off. Because it's very important in love that when you're dating someone and you're getting to those stages of even trying to get to love, or even trying to get to a strong hold of like and all of that. So you got to be strong in the love that you have for that person. That's what I would say. If you really feel that way for that person, you shouldn't have the expectation of anything in return, because that's the love and the feelings that you have. But it's just as powerful to get it. It's just as powerful to get it. It's not always going to happen to get things the way that you give it. But unconditional love is a very, very deep thing. It's you've had some levels to cross with that person, whether it be mentally, physically, financially, or just growing in love. Different reasons as to why you have had that threshold that you've went through to get to where you are, to that unconditional state. So, to be brave is to love someone unconditionally without expecting anything in return. And so today we're going to talk about some things that let you know what love feels like. And you'll hear people sometimes say that love for me started with a lust thing. And that may not be untrue. I can believe that. I can truly believe and understand that in certain people's start of their walk to love, or their journey to love, that they went through, they had to go through those growing stages to get there. Especially when you're talking about something like unconditional love, there are some things that you're willing to devour and take on and be strong in love with, if you're trying to, when you're talking about unconditional love, it's a lot of different things that come along with that. Very much so. Okay. So to be brave in love. I really like that quote. That's why I felt like it was a good one for the day, because it leads right into the fact that we're talking about what love feels like. And love is a very, very, very strong action word, but the key thing is that it's an action word. So people don't, if someone's just using that word and they have no action behind it, they're probably not in love, because they probably don't even know what love is. They probably don't even know. I'm just telling you. People will play on your conscience now and try to get things from you so that they can benefit things from you. But they're not always. They don't always have the best things in mind for you, though. You know what I'm saying? That's not always the case. So you're supposed to pay attention to those things. All right. So what love feels like. Number one is definitely more than lust. Um, it's way more than lust, and it's important to recognize that while lust is one stage of a way to love, you're going to need more than physical attraction to make it last. So, because in time, the deeper you get to know them, and the more you bond, the more you'll grow to care for who they really are, and the more they'll care for who you really are. Because that's what it evolves to, the point where people know you more than you know yourself. The point where people could hear and see your thoughts without you telling them what's going on. You can sit there and, you know, be having a really, really a rough start. And that they can read and sense and gather all of that to the point where now you gotta work through it and talk through it. So it's things like that that lets you know that they really care and you really care. Okay, so it's definitely more than lust. You're not concerned with the risk when you are willing to take penitentiary chances but not really like penitentiary chances. Not bad shit. When you're willing to take the risk on someone that you choose, it's always different. It's not like, okay, if anything, risk is what makes it exciting. You know what I'm saying? Love pushes you to open yourself up to completely to another person, to really be seen and understood. And in spite of the possibility of heartbreak, we do it anyway. Because we do know that sometimes love will end in heartbreak. And in spite of, we do it. It's a huge risk, but it seems to be one we're all willing to make, and we'll continue to make that risk because we continue to believe in love. All right. You feel calm and content around that person. Eventually, as the beginning stages, what they call the honeymoon stages, wear off, and you and your partner really begin to see who the other is, there's a sense of calm, familiarity, that you feel grounded and content in their presence. This is partly due to the hormones released. And okay, it just feels right. Your love just feels right. It doesn't always have good reasons, which is where the idea of unconditional love comes from. You can just wake up one morning and feeling like this is exactly what I've been trying to feel all my life, and you can't even explain it, but you're feeling it. It's something that's delving into you, holding you. It has a grasp, a hold. So when it feels so right in that aspect, then you have little to worry about when it comes to like, oh, heartbreak and all of that, because you're not dealing in that. You're not playing around in that. You're playing around in unconditional love area. I mean, unconditional love oceans and rivers and um, all the big lakes and everything like that. Shit, that's what you mean when you out there talking about the real thing. You feel like a complete individual, and your partner shouldn't compete with you. In fact, I'm sorry, your partner shouldn't complete you. I put the L in there. I didn't even know that. But let me read and make sure it makes sense still. Hold on. Okay, so maybe I just messed it up by saying complete. Your partner shouldn't complete you. In fact, feeling that way is a good sign that you're more in an infatuation phase than true love. Love happens between two whole people, which is why you know that you are wholeheartedly in love when you can still have your life without feeling like you can't have, when you can have your life with your partner and still be able to be you, and enjoy being you, and still, and they enjoy the fact that you can still be you. When you have a partner that has truly accepted the person that you are, they're willing to take risks on doing things for you as far as investments and opportunities and things of that nature. A person that starts to um, give you things that they know that they want for themselves, that's a person who knows that they are in love and they're willing to actually keep that going. That's what it looks like for them. If a person is willing to give half of that, and that might just be it. That might be what love looks like for them, but it's going to be what that partner is willing to accept. So you accept the good with the bad. Before you get into the wholehearted stage, couples have to go through the disillusionment, the end of the honeymoon stage, like I said earlier, that when faults and things start showing up, and ultimately a decision about whether to stay together comes into play. There's really no way around it. Loving is realizing all the ways you're not perfect together and make it work anyway. And you cannot really believe that you're in a great relationship if everything is completely perfect. Because what is perfect? Like, what is it? What is it? Like, you can't, you want to actually be with somebody that doesn't have their own mind. You might as well date a robot. Because when y'all having conversations, you don't want to just be sitting there hearing yourself back as the response. I need you to have your own mind. A man don't want that either. They don't want it to be where you just come on. We gotta yeah. You actively choose that person. When this isn't a random act of kindness where you just like, oh, okay, this is who I'm dating, this is who I'm with, this. No, this is real deal Holyfield, something like that. And you actually go out and you choose that person. You make that person the person who you decide that you, okay, this is what I want to do. I'm not this I don't want to go up and down. I don't want to play games. I don't want to play in the field no more. This is exactly what I want to do. Let me sit down and do that. That comes to the thing where you saying that I'm giving myself to you. Once you've accepted those things about your partner that aren't exactly your favorite, ooh, that's a huge, big deal. So, woo, woo, congratulations, for real, straight up. You've actively decided you love them for them, and it's more important. It's more of a choice now. You know that you didn't just say, okay, I'm dealing with this person just to be dealing with them. Now you know you really love those people because you went through the whole stage of accepting everything that you either liked or could not. I mean, that you could not think in your whole mind you would be able to ever deal with in life. But now you've decided that it's worth it. It's worth it. Okay. You got to take time with certain things. You overcome obstacles and challenges. So true love takes going through certain rough seasons and finding out the ways you're not compatible. But the more your relationship is put to the test, you'll see how much you are compatible. Of course, every relationship still takes effort, but once you reach wholehearted love, you've really sharpened your communication and conflict resolution skills, and that's a huge big deal, because how you deal with your anger in your arguments or in your confusions, your active debates and things of that nature, how you respond then says a lot about you. It says a lot about you, because when you how you act in anger is really important. It's very important to know how you, because some of the things that you're saying in anger, you really mean. And then now you got to come back and say, I only said that because I was upset. That's not fair. That's not fair. You trust your love with, you trust your love will last. Despite the risks and any other difficulties, there's a deep knowing that you want this person in your life and trust they'll be around for a long haul. And building that trust is no easy feat. You know what I'm saying? It takes time. So you've overcome obstacles and challenges. Um, you started developing a true love story, and it takes going through rough seasons and all that. I think I said that part. And of course, every relationship takes effort, but once you reach it, you're good. You could live without them, but you don't want to. Why? Why do you want to? You know for a fact that regardless of whether, life says I'm supposed to not do this and I need to move on and something has to happen and you still choose them. Going back to the idea of having a complete individual with and without a partner, there's a part of you that knows you would be okay without your great love. But with that said, you know this isn't what you will want because you simply genuinely love having this person in your life. That is a very, very uncommon thing with a lot of people. They deal with people in their life. They allow people to be in their life because they just have to deal with those people. But when you genuinely choose someone, when you love that person, when you deeply sat down and you pick your own brain about what you wanted and how you wanted it to be delivered to you, and you went to your source and you either prayed, meditated, whatever you had to do to get to that level of sustainability in your mind that this is for you. You knew then that this was real. You knew then that you couldn't live without them, even if you wanted to. All right, that's real stuff, though. Self-love is patient. You got self is love. Selfless love is patient. Selfless love is kind. It's not jealous. It's not. It's not a bragging or an arrogant thing. It's not an act of unbecoming. It's not anything that's negative. It does not seek its own. Selfish love is not provoked. It is something that happens because it's supposed to happen. Self-love does not take account of wrong suffering, which means that you're not supposed to be out here doing some harm to someone to get that type of love. Because then is that real, true love? Does that mean that person can live without you? Does that mean that? Okay. So, like I said today, I told y'all we're gonna have a quick show today, but I really want y'all to think about what real love does look like for you. All right, so this is it. This is the barrier to let you know how it's going to be different for you and how it's going to be different for anyone else. Those reasons that I just gave you are reasons to let you know that the person you're choosing, if they're right or wrong for you, those reasons are for that. But to get to the point where you know that your love feels just like it's supposed to be your love, it's going to be aching. It's going to be that throbbing love. It's going to be, I want to feel you. I want to see you. I want to be near you. I want to build with you. I want to grow with you. I want to feel this every single day of my life. I don't want to live without it. That's when you know that it's for you. That's when you know that you're in a state of, I can have, because you're gonna have, if you don't have love, if you have to go through the hard times, if you have to go through the tough times, the bad times, just to get back to the good times, you can't make it through any of that without love. You can't. You can't. Don't let nobody steer you wrong. Don't let nobody tell you different. We're not supposed to be in this world, in this time, in this century, in this realm to be alone. So building with someone and having someone, of course, is definitely a part of the plan. But you have to know when it's for you. All right? And there are seasons and times where things may feel like it is for you. But when you're talking about the real thing, it's a whole different season. It's a whole different feeling. It's a whole different glow. All right. I appreciate y'all so much for tuning in today. It's always good hanging out with y'all. It's always good seeing y'all. It's always good being around y'all. All right. I want y'all to take good care of yourselves. I will see y'all back here next Wednesday. It'll be the fourth Wednesday of the month, I believe. The fourth Wednesday. Whoo, gosh. We have blown through the month of freaking September. We about to get into Libra season. It's about to be Libra season because Virgo season is about to come to the end. We about to go from one set of spoiled brats to the next. I appreciate y'all. Though. I will see y'all next Wednesday. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all week. Do something fun. Eat a new food item and love on the person who's loving on you. Peace.